called board meeting for the month of May. We'll start off with number one, call to order. Roll call, possible action on excusing any absent member.
Mario Liscano,
Present.
Alex Rios,
Present.
Sonia Falcon, here. Alma Caso,
Present.
Johnny Rodriguez, Lisa Ann McAlpine,
Present.
Ernesto Sepúlveda,
Present.
Jose Delgado,
Present.
Dr. Annabelle Palomo,
Present.
Laura Warren. Ms. Warren and Mr. Rodriguez did advise prior to the meeting that they weren't able to attend.
Thank you. With that, do I hear a motion to excuse our absent board members?
So moved.
There's a motion by Mr. Rios, the second
Second.
by Dr. Palomo. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We have two absent board members. Next, we will have organizational business, and we have, first of all, the approval of the minutes, April 4th, 2023, for our regular called meeting. Does anybody have any questions on the minutes? If no questions, there's a motion by Ms. Falcon to approve the minutes as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Dr. Palomo. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Minutes have been approved. Next, we have the Treasurer's Report of Account Summary, period ending in April 30th, 2023.
Okay, so on the treasurer's report was reported last time that we met, it's behind a month, right? So this is not the reconciled items, and so if there's any questions regarding the report, please let me know that everything is in line with our budget.
Thank you. So everything is in line with our budget and there's no, nothing, just depending the reconcile. Is there any other questions?
I think the only question is going to be the budget report that was provided to the board for this year. Do you have that?
Yes, for the entire year, yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think we're gonna need a copy of that
Yes, ma'am?
for next month.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll provide it.
Great. Any other questions? If no questions, do I hear a motion to accept the treasury report as presented?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion by Mr. Rios. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Ms. Caso. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Treasury report has been approved. Next, we have the activities and announcements. We'll start off with the President's Administrative Report. We'll start off with the membership report.
Good afternoon, board members. We're going to go ahead and start with our membership report first. One moment. Okay, here we are. So our memberships report for the month of,
Why isn't Idolina doing this? Isn't she?
she can come
usually-
up and, yeah,
Oh,
we can
okay.
have her come up and do it. Ms.
Because
Elena?
That's what she does.
Good afternoon, board. So for the memberships report, the total memberships as of May 2023, we have a total of 121. We did gain 15 members as of May. We did have 7 renewals and 8 new members that have never been part of the chamber before. We would like to spotlight our members, our corporate member that renewed with us, Radisson McAllen Airport, our gold members, Edcon Studios, and AAA Lighting Distribution, as well as our Guadalupe Home Care and Quisqueya Athletics. Last but not least, we also want to acknowledge and spotlight our new members, Liquor 101, A&M University, Monica de la Cruz, Winter Haven, and Sapphire Event Center. As well as our new members, International Culinary Institute, Vanguard Academy, To Give International Nonprofit Organization, Alzheimer's Association, and Quick Insurance. Any questions?
I think the commissioner's here, right, with
Yeah, and
ED Con. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elena.
I do want to take the time to recognize our two commissioners that are present, Commissioner Chavez and Commissioner Medina, who are in attendance today. And we appreciate them. And I know that yesterday we're going to have a meeting, and I know this is National Small Business Week. So I'm glad they have joined us today and that they're in complete support of our Chamber of Commerce.
Now, I did want to mention that To Give nonprofit organization is one of the businesses that the EDC, took on it and forwarded to us. So they spoke to Give organization that belongs to one of the 10 businesses that the EDC is going to have membership for them on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce. So they're the first one on that list. So moving on to current projects and initiatives, I do want to highlight that this week is National Small Business Week. So it is from April 30th to May 6th. It's very important to us to promote and highlight our small businesses here in the city. They are the backbone of our community, not only the city, but the entire region. And so we have invited a few of our, small businesses to be here today so that they can speak a little bit about their business and be highlighted. Before we do that, I do want to mention our initiative as part of National Small Business Week is taking each day of the week and naming it with something catchy and something that we can do for our members. So adding a benefit to it. We also wanted to have the community and have everybody be a part of it and participate on each one of those days. And so we started with Monday. It was our Mention Monday. So it's tag your favorite small business in a post on social media. So that gets the ball rolling. It gets people talking, and it gets promotion out there for our businesses. And then we have on Tuesday, it's Takeout Tuesday. So eat local, dine in, take out, delivery, or pick up. And so today's Tuesday. We have some of our restaurants here, and we encourage everyone to take out, to dine in, to go to their restaurant and eat local. On Wednesday, we're going to have our Welcome Wednesdays. So this is where we welcome a new business here in town. We promote them on our socials. We share them just to give them and have more eyes on their business. On Thursday, we have our Thankful Thursday. This is where we thank a small business. We do something on our socials. We post a big congratulations, a big gratitude statement, just because they have been with us for a long time and they've been part of the city for a while. And then Friday, we do Friendly Friday. This is where you grab a friend and you shop local. So this is more on the retail side. We encourage our community to take a picture and tag the business that they're attending where they're shopping local. And then on Saturday, we do Self-Care Saturdays. So this is when we focus more on maybe our spas and our beauty salons. And when you take a trip to the salon and you take a picture and you also tag the business. Now moving on, we are in Takeout Tuesday. So we want to highlight our first business is going to be Fazoli's. Fazoli's is located here in Pharr. They're by the Topgolf Costco area. They're very close to us. They have been very big supporters of the chamber. We have the manager, Miss Adriana Cavazo. She's actually one of our ambassadors and one of our champions. She really is behind the scenes and helps us out. So I want to bring up here the owner, Mr. Jerry Maddox, and Adriana, and also Jocelyn, so they can speak a little bit about their business and just say a thank you to you guys.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
How's that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, no, there you go. Thanks. It's an honor to be here and to speak in front of such a great looking board and just representing the beautiful city of Pharr. So it's also just an honor just to know most of you personally and not only do business with you guys, but socially get to hang out and do a lot of fun things together, right? One of the things that is hard to kind of tell people right now is like, oh, you got through COVID. You've done all these great things. Life is great. The times we're living in now are 10 times tougher than the times for COVID, especially for small business owners like me. You can combat the headwinds that was coming with COVID by using your brain and doing intellectually, like figuring out how to get, you know, your product to the consumer by drive-through or a third-part delivery. When you're combating something like inflation, which just has its hold over everything, we're talking water bills go up, gas bills go up, grocery bills go up, labor costs go up. How does a small business overcome all those headwinds? And I think right now it's a time for restaurants to come together, work together, community members to come together, focus on those headwinds and see how we can all win together. Now, that's why I've been an advocate for the Texas Restaurant Association for the last 20 years. I'm on their education board, and I've been on their regular board for probably 15, 16 years. That is us winning together. That's like, hey, let's combat this together. During COVID, the TRA was instrumental in implementing the way to reopen. How do you reopen a restaurant after it's been closed in a crisis that none of us in our lifetime has ever gone through it? So what they were able to do is take this to the governor and say, this is how we reopen. It was a model for all 50 states to reopen. Thank God the governor did it. We were able to keep more people in business. We were able to help with, hey, the grocery stores don't have it. Restaurants have it. We have $30,000 in inventory that's going to go bad because we're not selling it right now. Let's figure out a way to do this to get people to give it to us. I know we did at Fazoli's, we gave it away. We just went to all the schools and said, we need a list of the people that need it the most, not the students, the entire family. Give us that list. We drove around for 3 weeks giving out free food, because why let it spoil, right? We're in it together. We're in here to win together. And that's when we decided to do Fazoli's. You basically can go like 2 ways to do it. You could feed the rich at a premium cost of $30, $40 per person, or you try to feed the masses, right? So it means you got to get 500, 600 people in per day to make the impact, right? To get the profits that are coming in. And that's what we did. Fazoli's is Italian for the masses. You know, it's fast, it's affordable, it's right around the corner, and it's in an area that needed it, right? It's like, not everybody can afford house wine, but everybody's got at least $7 in their couch. So just come by Fazoli's. I was able to overcome these headwinds during COVID because I was doing restaurants my whole life. I was able to accumulate talent like Miss Adriana and her beautiful daughter to come on board with us and stay through hard times. There's been times like, hey, I can't pay you this week. She's like, it's all right, Jerry. We'll catch up next month. Amazing. You know, there's been times like that. There's times like that right now. And so it's things like what you guys are doing here that are going to make the greatest impact. And like I said, the key to staying in business is working with your community and understanding that not only are your guests your services, but the people that provide you with stuff. So tell them if the manager's in there and the guy that's dropping off the food truck, you know, he's like, need some help. I was like, you go out there and help him. He's still a member of the community. He's still providing a service to you. So it's like, you have to be like that with everyone. And that's kind of what we go by. That's how we treat our employees. That's why we probably have the lowest turnover of any restaurant that I've been a part of. And that's why we keep trying to do it every day. That's a little bit about it.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Mr. Maddox, I just wanted to say, first of all, congratulations on doing that and overcoming that. You have several business owners up here, and we all felt it, and in all our own area. But you say something that I think we always oversee, and that there is unity in the word community. And you keep saying that we need to keep working together. I couldn't agree with you more. I can't get into details of what we're going to be doing, but I have a festival just for you to be a sponsor and to continue promoting your name. That's what we do here at the Chamber. We want to help our small businesses. We want to hear these stories. They're real life stories that impact our lives every single day. So thank you for staying committed to the Pharr Chamber of Commerce. Your staff is amazing. Since they've been joining our ribbon cuttings, I've gone to Fazoli's at least a dozen times with my kids because it is cheaper than Olive Garden. But
Those French sticks. Don't forget about those French sticks.
Tastes
the-
better.
but that's what we're here for. We're here to serve you, the community, our members. You are the driving force of this chamber. It is our small businesses. So thank you for sharing that. It definitely touched my heart to hear you. And we're here to serve you. Anything we can help you, please continue to utilize our chamber, because we do work in unity. Sometimes we don't agree on everything, but we definitely do work together to accomplish the bigger goal, to work together.
Also, I
do-
do serve on the board with a Pharr ADC scholarship with Jerry, and thank you for what you do for that board. I know that we've raised a lot of funds. You were instrumental in that. So I wanted to highlight that because I saw you working towards that. So thank you. We appreciate it.
One last thing, so Adriana, I met her on the last mixer. You have great salespeople. Her and her family.
Oh.
I mean, believe me, after that, we went to your place and we had some cheesecake as well.
I know.
I do want to add, Mr. Maddox. It would be great for the rest of the community to hear these stories. I feel like we as a board hear them often, but I feel like maybe utilizing our social media would be
Mhm.
great. So please, whenever we're talking to our members, the restaurants, a short interview. If people could have heard what you just did,
Mhm.
what you just talked about, we'd more encouraged to
One
go
thing I've
and
learned
buy
through
local.
my experiences in the restaurant industry, which started when I was 16 years old, is that you learn two ways, right? You either go through it or your grandpa tells you about it.
Mhm.
And if we can all start sharing these stories of,
Mhm.
hey, COVID's over, everybody's loving life, that's not the case.
But you're right, absolutely right. Right when you said that, we're going through the roughest time. Yes, we are. Business owners here as well, and like Alex said, we feel it very much. During the pandemic, we were able to get some help from the government, but not anymore. So we're at a difficult time, and we feel you. And thank you so much for being a member. Thank you.
Marcela, just Chairman, if I may, I did have a recommendation for your Business of the Week to maybe add your initiatives into the membership application, because that information you gave out on the, talk about you Tuesday and let's go shopping this day, I think that could be a form of a sale as well for new members.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Maddox. Thank you, Adriana and Jocelyn. Thank you for being here. They've also been gracious enough to bring us some cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory to try. So we might have that a little later. Only one
Come
slice.
back
though.
next month.
We also have here with us today Mr. Mario Cruz. He's the owner for Edith's Mexican Buffet. They've seen tremendous growth. We did their ribbon cutting for their location here in Pharr about probably a year, a little bit more, longer than a year. But they now have opened a second location, and they have done some great, great things with the community and helping the community. So I want to invite him up to say a few words as well.
Thank you very much. Test. Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, first and foremost, I want to like to thank each one of you guys for inviting me to be here, to share with you a little bit of our story of Edith's and how we got started and how we ended up being here in the city of Pharr. Great city, by the way. For those who do not know, I'm not from this town. I currently reside in Edinburgh, but I'm actually from Edcouch. Y'all's heads just like, okay, that's crazy. One of the smallest towns, in the valley.
They come.
But we came from there. My wife is Edith. The restaurant is named after my wife. Some people assume that Edith is this abuelita or whatever it may be, because every Mexican restaurant obviously has a señora abuelita cooking their food. My wife does not cook the food, just so y'all know.
Wow.
Long story, I'm gonna try to get down to this real quick. Yesterday Eloina called me and she invited me, hey, come share your story. So I prepared a little thing, not too much time. I'm not gonna take too much time. But a little bit of my story. I was raised without a father. All right. My mother working full time to provide for my siblings. And I mentioned this to you because I want to tell you that where I'm at today did not come easy. To have one of the biggest, fastest growing Mexican restaurants in the valley at this moment did not come easy. As a matter of fact, in the majority of all my childhood and teen years, we lived barely making it. From moving house to house because we couldn't pay the rent, to at times eating Vienna sausage daily with bread because times were tough. I guess you can say we were in the statistic of poverty. That's where I came from. And to be here today, to be off the expressway on Olana, to actually be a representation now, I think we made the entrance to Pharr look great. You drive into Pharr and you just see all these cars packed out on the side of the road. It's a blessing. At the age of 18, as a matter of fact, I found myself living in poverty. For those, nobody knows this here is what I'm sharing with you right now. Back then, there used to be an RV park right under the overpass. Do you all recall that RV park? That RV park that used to be down there, retirement center. Well, I used to live there, an abandoned RV. The owner told me, "Hey, you can come stay here as long as you clean the pool at 2 a.m. every day." There was no electricity, no water, holes in the roof. It was infested with rodents, but I was allowed to stay there by the owner as long as I cleaned that pool every day. I had a part-time job, 725, and it was 20 hours a week. I recall going to school frequently uh, and being stranded on the expressway. That I didn't have enough gas to make it to school. Those were the times that I lived in. And as I mentioned, I'm sharing with you a bit of my history because I want you to understand why I'm at and why our business is at where it's at today. Your history is connected to your present. Your history is connected to your future. Before Edith's Mexican Buffet, I was an owner of a little store in Elsa. A store opened back in 2013. And how did this happen? How did I get to this store when I didn't have any money? Well, I sacrificed what every small business does. I'm here to encourage small businesses, whoever's going to watch this later on, that you can do it too. I sacrificed my vehicle. I sold my only vehicle to open this store that I thought would work. I had no experience in business, as many small businesses don't have experience. They just jump into something without really knowing what's ahead. But I did it anyway. So with my little vehicle, I sold a vehicle, uh, used that, thought I would be open this big business or whatever it may be, but it was a joke. I did not know what I was getting myself into. I only had enough money for permits to paint the building and to have a little bit of inventory. Let me tell you, I only had $90 left for inventory. $90. The store was empty. That's all I had to fill it up. Now you cannot do anything with $90. How many of y'all know you go to the store today, $90 is nothing. But I started with that. I bought a few 2 liters, few Gatorades, few chips. Went from there. The store was completely 5% merchandise, 95% air, and empty shelves. My first customer drove in, and I remember being this young 21-year-old excited for my first customer. Hey, you know what? Like, he's driving in. I'm gonna sell him some chips, whatever it may be. And he drove in and he laughed. And he said, "Are you sure you're open?" And I go, "Yes, I'm open, sir. I have some chips, I have some Cokes." He goes, "Do you have Big Red?" I go, "I don't have Big Red, but I'll have it one day." He goes, "Do you have some certain chips?" I don't know what it was. Like, "I don't have those chips yet, but I'll have it one day." He goes, "Just give me one of those 2 liters that you have there." You know, he bought the 2 liter. What I did after that would change my life forever. I was very discouraged at the moment, defeated, because my first customer came in and laughed in my face. As small business owners, you see how they are. They come to you, you open up. It's not the ideal. You're not at the prime position to offer great services. But we have a decision to make at those moments. You either give up or you keep moving forward. So I chose to keep moving forward. I closed the store that day to go buy 2 more Cokes. And I went from there. I did that over and over and over until I filled up the store. And that's where I started. That's how I started. I didn't come from any money. I didn't have financial backing. People see this Mexican buffet today and they think that we came from money. I came from nothing. Actually, to be honest with you, we have one of the busiest Mexican restaurants now. We came from no restaurant experience. And I'll get into that in just a bit. But that's just to say, what you put your mind to, what you put your heart into, I mean, you can win and prevail. I'm a believer. I believe I give thanks to God. I'm not shy of that.
Amen.
It's because of Him I am where I'm at today, and because of the process and me being obedient to His word and to His will. So Edith's Mexican Buffet started that way. We transitioned from the store into the first restaurant in Westlaco. And in Westlaco, great city, but I'm actually loving Pharr better. Don't tell him I told you that. I love Pharr, but we started over there. Different story as well. As we mentioned, we didn't have restaurant experience. We started there. I mean, I recall I didn't have same story as the stores. You don't come from financial backing. So we went for a restaurant. I signed the contract. The day I signed the contract, I still did not know what I was going to open. I just knew God told me go open a restaurant, but I didn't know what I was going to open. So we're there, and one day I'm driving with my wife, who was my fiance at the time, and I asked her, "Hey, can I name it Edith's Kitchen?" And she goes, "Yeah, sure." And both of us thinking, "Yeah, we'll name it Edith's. It's not gonna be something crazy big, right?" So we did that. We decided, you know what, let's open a Mexican buffet, but let's do it different. We want to cater a lot to those who are on a quick pace, who are in a hurry to get through their lunch break, and just make it convenient and good for them. So we did just that. Same story as again as I mentioned with the stores. We didn't have any money, and that year in 2018, my wife and I we were engaged. So how many of y'all know that's not a good story when you're trying to open a business and trying to prepare a wedding? So I told my wife we're out of funds. We're gonna have to use the wedding money to finish the project of opening this restaurant. The look in her face was priceless, but she believed in me and she said, "Let's keep moving forward." I share this with you because whoever's going to watch this, I don't know who's going to watch this later on, but just to inspire people, inspire small businesses. It doesn't matter where you start or how you start. As long as you execute, you have determination, motivation, and willingness, you will get to the top. There's no excuses. Everybody can do it. We're all gifted the same in different ways. But we did that. We opened this Mexican restaurant in Westlake. It won. It was hitting. It was doing really well. We went to Edinburgh. We were next to the city hall. It did really well. But then the pandemic happened. And I don't want to put too much time in the pandemic. The pandemic was tough for everybody, but we got to move forward from the pandemic. So today I choose a lot of the times to look back at it or not. And it was tough. I mean, we obviously let go of a lot of employees, over 40 employees at that time. That was difficult. We closed our restaurant for 6 months in Westlaco. We closed it in 8 months in Edinburgh. That's a long time to be closed. But I believed that the future was still bright. I would still dream. There was actually this true story. This is how we got to Pharr. I was not even in Pharr during the pandemic, but I was believing I was coming to Pharr after the pandemic. And I would dream that I would be off the expressway on Olana after the pandemic. My finances were hit, just the way everybody's finances were affected in the pandemic. But I still believed, and I still said, you know what, we're going to be there one day. With that said, I mean, we prevailed, thanks to God. And we knew we wanted to rebrand. We closed West Edinburgh. We had a grand opening, a re-grand opening in Edinburgh. It was a joke. Let me tell y'all, you'll be criticized. You look like a fool to reach the top. It was a joke. We reopened Edinburgh in November. 8 months later, we had a ribbon cutting, re-ribbon cutting. Let's do it again. And then we closed 7 days later because the pandemic was just too heavy. It was difficult. And I know a lot of small businesses are dealing with this today. We're dealing with that at that time as well. But you got to keep your mind forward. You got to keep going and believing. So we closed. We let it go. It was a joke. We promoted Edith's reopening again in Edinburgh, and we closed it 7 days later. Then we made the decision. We were in Westlaco, and we were like, you know what? And we started just coming out of the grave, coming back out. It's a buffet. Who wanted to eat a buffet in the pandemic? Nobody wanted to go to a buffet in the pandemic. But we came out of it, and we said, let's rebrand. And let's go to one of the greatest cities in the valley, because we believe Pharr is one of the greatest cities in the valley. And we said, you know what, let's move forward. Let's go that way. Let's close Westlaco. This was a radical move of faith because Westlaco was already winning again. We're profiting. Let's close Westlaco and let's go to Pharr. So we did just that. As we came to Pharr, I mean, the city of Pharr is great. I mean, it's great. Our sales increased, 40% more than we were in Westlaco. I mean, we're now considered with both restaurants, we're a multi-million-dollar business in these two locations already. We're experiencing significant growth. But I also want to thank the city. I mean, you guys have been so supportive. I see what y'all do. Y'all are very active in everything that y'all do. I mean, I'm blown away. I think I've mentioned to you a while back. I'm impressed. So we went from there. We started as a small business, no experience, as many other small businesses do. But now we have, I would say, one of the fastest Mexican restaurants growing here in the valley. At this moment, we have decisions to make as well as small businesses. We have investors from Dallas, San Antonio, Brownsville, Houston that want to invest in Edith's and they want to take Edith's to their cities. That's a decision we got to make soon, but we're excited for the future. We're excited to be in Pharr and to be Pharr's number one now. Edith's Kitchen number one's in Pharr. And now we can say Edith's is from Pharr. But we're excited for that. That's our story. And we're excited for the future. Our hours of operation 8 to 3 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Sunday closed. McAllen's open Sunday, but we are gonna open Sunday already in 3 weeks, starting this month. So be ready for that. We serve great Mexican food, all you can eat Mexican buffet, uh, consistent quality. So that's where we're at. At our restaurant, you'll find great service, consistency, and just a lot of the good stuff. I'm excited. The city of the health inspector also. I want to say that out there. The health inspector of Pharr. I don't know who they are. They're different ones. Came to my restaurant. He goes like, "Man, I'm very impressed with your business. For not having no restaurant experience, you're considered the top 3 cleanest restaurants in the city." He goes, "Number 1 is probably Papados, but they have chefs and all these chefs, and you're besides them, and we're very impressed to be one of these, to be up there." So with that said, that's our business. He just makes simple fish. Shared a little story I just shared, just inspire. I'd have to really go into detail, but that's where we're at. So with that said,
Thank you.
Thank you.
no, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Also, I do want to mention today we're going to get to try Edith's Mexican buffet's delicious food. So they were gracious enough to donate the lunch for today's meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
And up next, we have Mr. Hugo Rodriguez. He's with Cookie Co. This is a new business that just opened up here in the city at Medical Ridge Plaza. They do great work. It's a family business. And so I want to give them the time to say a few words as well and invite you to his business.
Hello, thank you for having me. First of all, I want to highlight the City of Pharr and the Chamber of Commerce for just a spectacular treatment with me and my family in this whole process, which is basically new to all of us. As a new business and young entrepreneur, it's always hard to imagine going into another country, exploring another market, and trying to establish as best as possible your product without really knowing how the consumers will receive and will see you, right? So we started up on in Reynosa about 15 years ago. More precisely, my mom and my sister starting doing cakes and cookie cakes at our home. We started to have a lot of movement, honestly, and I'm not bragging when I say that both of them have really a blessing. They do art, but in cookie cakes with the piping, and obviously, well, this with coupled with a lot of other factors, really made us stand out in Reynosa while being in our home. So our customers would order through WhatsApp, Instagram, stuff like that, other channels, and they would go pick up to our house or we would deliver. And so we started to place ourselves as the best and most unique bakery in Reynosa. And after that, I want to say about 5-8 years later, we started, saying, you know what, we should start a business, we should invest. We know we were doing very well, so we invested in our first location in Reynosa, and obviously we were intimidated with the fact of opening a store because it was still, I mean, something, as other people would say and would agree. I mean, if it's your first restaurant or first establishment, you never know what you're going into, especially not being in the food service industry before. So we went blindfolded and just hoping that we would do our best. And that's what we did. We opened our first location in Reynosa, and then we started seeing how all the people in Reynosa started to get to know us, and soon after we started seeing a lot of people from the valley, from McAllen, Mission, Pharr, all over the valley. Our cookies were getting everywhere, even to San Antonio, Austin. So we were since the beginning we were very, very encouraged that one day we would go to the U.S. and but it was just a dream at first. So after about 4 years, we started saying, you know what, after the pandemic, we started saying, you know what, we should open another store in Reynosa. I was like, I don't know, Reynosa. I mean, yes, we do have more space to open in Reynosa. We do have, we can open in another boulevard, but I really want to try the U.S. I really want to put our first store in the U.S. I'm the middle of three siblings, and I was just pitching the idea to my sister and my younger brother. We can do it over here. We can start the business and we can make it work, because at the end it was my mother and my sister, the ones that did all the piping, and I would just like help manage and do everything else just to help out, right? So it was still a dream, and after that, I somehow was able to convince my sister, which had just had a baby, convince her to start working again, and my younger brother, and we were like, let's do this. We'll do this together. This is a family business. We don't really know how hard it's going to be, but we do know that we'll put all of our heart together and make it work. So we started seeing a lot of commercial spaces and stuff like that, and we got to this location that we have just next to the Gold's Gym in Jackson, and we were amazed by the construction by Mr. Hugo Martinez and MC Construction. It was just incredible. We loved the plaza, and we didn't really know a lot about the city of Pharr by then when we signed the agreement, because I didn't really start working with them until the permits and all that good stuff. But I saw the potential in the plaza in Jackson Road, and we decided to go. And after that, I want to highlight the help, really. Everybody in the city, everybody in the Chamber of Commerce. It's just been, we felt so blessed that the whole process was just a breeze, from the inspections, from the personnel here in City Hall, the inspectors, a lot of things that I think, well, while it's talking to other business owners, don't exist or are very rare, that everybody in the city, everybody is trying to help. It's like they want you to open. It's like they want to make it easier and make it faster for you, which is vital when starting a business and investing and not being able to sell at the beginning. So congratulations to everybody. And well, what we do is customized cookie cakes. We also sell coffee shop. That was a niche that we found. We started doing the custom cookie cakes, custom cakes we also do. And we found a niche with a full coffee bar. So a lot of people like our ambience and like staying there. They like the service. That's one of our staples in Reynosa as well. That's what we're trying to do here too. If you go to Google reviews and search for Cookie Co in Reynosa, you'll see all the comments have something to say about our service. Over 500 comments, and all say something about that. We want the same here, and we want the community. We want to be as involved with the community as we can, and we also want to be involved with the Chamber of Commerce, because we know y'all are doing great things, and we want to be involved. That's basically all I can say. So thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. As well, we have some treats from Cookie Co to try later, so we get to a bit more sugar. And then, of course, last but not least, we have Mr. Isaac Quiroga. He is the owner for Elbows Mac and Cheese. They're also located there at Medical Ridge Plaza, and he will also be here with us to say a few words.
I was debating if I should wear the hat or not, but you guys know, you've seen there, you've been there. Thank you for inviting me. I really love that I got that call yesterday. Thank you. And we're really happy to be in Pharr. We had an opportunity of being anywhere in Texas because we got the exclusivity in Texas for the license. We went to California and bought the restaurant and brought it over here. So it was a hard decision. We could have started Austin, Dallas, Houston, anywhere. They're like big cities. That's where you got to go. And we're like, let's take it back home. Let's start down south. And we'll work our way up to north. And I think we didn't make a mistake. It's a great community. When we got here, we didn't know where we were going to locate exactly. We looked everywhere, but this plaza, like my friend in Kukiko said, is awesome. It's a plaza that looks like Austin. It's a hidden gem. A lot of people, and I've been talking to a lot of people, and they say, I didn't know you were there. I don't know that plaza existed. It's like forever we've drove up Jackson and stopped at Gold's Gym. There's nothing else except for houses or the border or whatever. So now we got to start telling people that beyond Gold's Gym, there is life. And there is a new plaza. It's really nice. It's one of those plazas that you think like in the future, people are just going to be walking around, just window shopping, seeing what it's about, seeing all the different businesses, all the different restaurants. And we're really close with everyone next to us. Sweet Spot, La Torteria, we have La Pachanga, and Cookie Co just opened. Really happy. My employees love it. And it's great. It's a great little gem, little hidden place that it's going to blow up. And it's just about marketing. We have been working a lot of marketing. We have been reaching out to the community. We love working with the community. I come from a background where I was one of the youth that people work with, and now I'm one of the business owners that wants to work with the youth. So we love working with people, with family. And I've always said our restaurant is open as a safe space for anyone who can't eat. Come visit us, talk to me. We'll get you something to eat. I was in New York one time and walking around Broadway. There was this little pizza place. We went in, bought a slice of pizza, turned around, saw this wall with a lot of dollar bills pinned to the wall. And I asked the owner, what is this about? He's like, those dollar bills, if you can't afford anything to eat, or if you're homeless, you get one of those dollar bills and you could get a slice of pizza. We don't have a wall where they could stick dollar bills, but we're thinking of doing something where the same community can invest and we could feed someone, a family, or anyone that wants to walk in and get a free meal. And it's not only about the free meals, because food is good, but it's also about feeding the heart, feeding the soul. So anything we could do to help the community, it is a safe space for you guys. We have a nice ambience. The place looks incredible. The design is really aesthetic. The music is cool. It's a place for the family. It is somewhere that a lot of kids are telling their parents, "Hey, take me to mac and cheese. That's what I love. Take me." And parents get there and like, this is mac and cheese for parents. This is yeah. So, and if you tried it, it's different, 15 kind of different macs that we have with different kinds of proteins. We have mac bites. We have pizzas, our gourmet pizzas with baccio cheese from Italy. We have giant monster tenders, and they're really good, like this big. And it's a big size plate. Our people go by and they get a plate and they're like, "Oh, we could eat. Two of us could eat with this plate." So it's like, it's really good food, and we're just so happy to be here in Pharr. Happy to be with the community. Just to end this with a nice note, it's like when I grew up, when I was 2 years old, I lost my parents. I got adopted by my aunt and uncle. They took me to live to California. I grew up in California. I was there till like 17. They moved back to Monterrey. That's where I finished growing up. And it was me being, like I said, that kid that people wanted to work with because I was in a bad place. Once I got through that bad situation, bad place, my whole life has been dedicated to just helping other people grow. So if you guys know anyone that ever needs anything, we're there for them. It's same to you guys. If I could do anything to help you guys, we're there for you guys. So we have a lot of knowledge. We know a lot about marketing. We just want to help anyone grow. That's why I take this spot just to tell you guys about the plaza, more than just Elbows Mac and Cheese, because I know the rest of the restaurants there and businesses are having a little hard time. We're too, but if we all come together and help each other, make everything grow, I think we could explode far. Just make it one of the best cities like it's becoming already. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Quiroga. We also have a few samples for mac and cheese if you want to try a bit later. And with that, we conclude our National Business Week presentation. We are very grateful that these businesses have trusted us to be a part of their journey, and we're here to support them in any way that we can.
Since they are here all, you talked about helping. The Pharr Chamber of Commerce is a tool. We are a tool. If you pick it up, you can use it. If you don't pick it up, it's like any tool in the garage. It does you no good. We are a solid team here of a bunch of resources on how to establish, how to market your businesses through these very great, by the way, employees in these three young ladies. I'm telling everybody out there who's listening, if you want to be part of a community and membership with businesses, this is the way to do it. But thank you for sharing your stories. But the key here is this chamber can be a tool for you. If you're hurting, talk to us. Tell us what's going on so that we know how to navigate this and how to help you do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Liscano, if you wanted to go into closed session.
Yes,
That's
and
okay.
I know that right now we're going to go ahead and let me just go ahead and after we had the membership report projects, we're going to go ahead into closed session in accordance with Chapter 551 Texas Government Code. The board hereby gives notice that it may meet in closed non-public executive session to discuss items listed in public portion of the meeting agenda in accordance to the following pursuant to Section 551071, 551072, 551074, 551076, 551084, and 551087. We will now be going into closed session at 12:50 p.m. Okay, in lieu of time, we're going to go ahead and we are now returning back from executive session. It's 1:54 p.m. We're going to make sure that we get provided with the information on the current project initiatives and upcoming events. We'll go ahead and have those emailed, and we'll go ahead and have those available for on our chamber website. So at this time, I would like to go back to 5 reconvene, and we are reconvening at, again, 1:54 with the information that was provided in executive session. And from there, we are listed to go on to number 6, adjournment. Do I hear a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion.
Second.
There's a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. 1:55 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.